Snow White has had a decent opening at the cinema, topping the US box office over the weekend, which may be a surprise as the film was heavily criticised during production. However, the reviews that have come in since may suggest that the criticism was indeed correct. So far, Snow White has a critic score of just 44% on Rotten Tomatoes and an even worse audience score of just 23%, which is truly dreadful. But oh boy, does it get worse. On imdb, it has a score of just 2 after over 50,000 reviews, which is a score that is even worse than that atrocious live-action Dragon Ball film, Dragon Ball Evolution. And of course, the score is miles away from the original Snow White film. So anyway, let's read some reviews and find out exactly why it has been so bad, starting off with this review titled Poisoned Apples All Around. As always, whenever there's a negative hype around a movie, my mindset is always prove them wrong, give it a chance. That is a good mindset to have, to be fair. It's diabolical, honestly. I can't understand how so much money and so much time has gone into this. The final result is cringeworthy. It's an absolute shocker. I am stumped to find any positives. You're probably not the only one there. It looks and feels so artificial. The sets, the animals. As for the dwarfs themselves, I have no words to express my feelings there. Yikes. The biggest catastrophe, not what I was expecting if I'm honest. The worst offender, Gal Gadot. No! Yeah. She looks sensational, but her performance, she's gonna scoop some unwanted awards, it's fair to say. I think we all know the award you're talking about, Gal Gadot. You may have a Razzie coming soon.
Maybe winning a Razzie is a good thing.
Yeah. What I wasn't expecting was just how poor the costumes would look on screen. Snow White's just doesn't translate very well. The hairstyle, what were they thinking? Disney, what on earth have you done? 1 out of 10. We may only be one review in, but I am definitely feeling like skipping this film. But anyway, on to the next review titled Sleepy, Dopey, and I'm Now Grumpy. That is a very creative title, I must say. I went into this with an open mind, but in spite of my best efforts, I could not enjoy this film. It was so sad to see such an amazing animated film ruined by such a poor attempt of modernization. They should have just made a new Disney flick. Yes, I don't understand why Hollywood keeps trying to remake films, but then going so far away from the original that it just doesn't work completely, instead of just trying to make a brand new original story. The storyline was forced and focused on the wrong things. CGI was terrible, better casting could have helped as well, as the acting is just bad. Don't waste your money or your time. I really hope Disney steps it up in the future. Live action Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast both paid great tribute to their originals while giving modern twists. Snow White fails miserably. Yeah, don't think I'm gonna go see this in the cinema, but maybe I'm being unfair as I've read 2 bad reviews. So why not a more positive review? Now these were a lot more harder to find, but I did manage to find one titled It Is What It Is. Not the most positive title for a 9-star review. Took the family to watch it tonight. My 6-year-old loved it, so did the 12-year-old. It's just simple Disney. I enjoyed it and didn't drift off, so that's praise for me. I bet there's a lot of parents out there who, if they don't drift off in the film they're watching with their kids, it's a big plus for them. I thought the CGI dwarfs were funny, but I think Disney couldn't win whatever they did as far as that argument went. I did sit there waiting for some kind of battle or non-comic fight, but then remembered I'm here for my little girl. The songs were nice, and Hi Ho will be stuck in my head all weekend. It's a kids film for little girls to learn that being brave and they can be heroes, it's what Disney is for, why overthink it? So from that review, it's telling us that it's good to watch if you're a little girl, but if you're not a little girl, it's not great. And as I'm not a little girl, it's another sign for me not to go watch it, and that's coming from a positive review. Anyway, on to the next review titled Watch the Original. The remake of Snow White is far from living up to its beloved origins. The film fails to capture the charm and magic of the original, and its modern reinterpretation leaves much to be desired. The acting performance was lackluster and unconvincing, with the cast struggling to truly inhabit their roles. Similarly, the singing, a cornerstone of any classic Disney production, falls flat, delivering numbers that are both technically weak and emotionally uninspired. This review is not about political correctness or the current trend of being woke, Instead, it's about the missed opportunity to honour a timeless tale. Disney had the chance to recapture the nostalgic essence that made the originals so cherished, but instead opted for a misguided reinvention that erases much of the magic and wonder we once knew. The story, characters and musical numbers suffer from a lack of creative vision, resulting in a product that is both disappointing and disheartening. Ultimately, the Snow White remake is not worth the entry price, as it fails to evoke the emotional resonance and excitement that audiences expect from a Disney classic. It's a stark reminder that sometimes in the pursuit of modernity, the heart of the story is lost in translation. That was a pretty interesting review, and it's interesting that they didn't blame wokeness for its reason as to failing, but instead the lack of emotion shown and the lack of soul in the film. Okay, time to read some more reviews, but this time we're going to switch it to Rotten Tomatoes. The first one is nice and simple. Horrible, it's been ruined. I think this was the feeling of most people just seeing the trailer, never mind seeing the actual film. My girls fell asleep and did not want to watch it. They enjoyed the old classic better. My girls are 7 and 9, we went to watch Dogman just to wake them up.
Sew the dog's head onto the man's body. Dogman!
Whoever played Snow White acting skills is trash.
Yes, absolutely.
That is not a good sign if the main target audience, as we heard from a previous review, fell asleep in it. And to go and have to watch Dogman just to wake them up really tells you just how bad this film is. So overall, I think I'm probably going to skip seeing this one in cinema and probably skip it even if it comes out on streaming services. But what are you guys going to do? Let me know if you're going to see it or not in the comments.